Dear brothers and sisters, today, August 15, the Church celebrates the solemnity of the Assumption of Mary into heaven, which as such is a dogma of faith that we are called to believe together with all of the truths that can put together our belief. The dogma was proclaimed by Pope Pius XII in 1951. Ever since, for 71 years, we all profess that as a truth that really happened. What did happen? Well, we know that Jesus rose from the dead upon dying on the cross and being buried. This feast, this solemnity tells us that God the Father, together with His Son Jesus, took Mary up to heaven, probably right after her death. We do not know. The Church does not really say exactly what happened. But what happened is that upon reaching the end of her earthly life, she was taken up to heaven with her soul, certainly, but with her body. And that's the great difference. Her body is in heaven. Her humanity is in heaven. And what tells us is that that is the place where we also are called to be. We are called to rise from the dead when the resurrection of the dead comes. Interesting is that we do not know, but all we are called by God through Jesus to go where He is. It's like the spokes of a wheel, they start from the rim, they all go to the hub being Jesus. We come from all the places, including all the places of the world, and we go where Jesus is, where Mary already is, as a gift that her Son chose for her. I remember that 30 years ago, when I first came to Houston, and I was a pastor at Assumption Church in the north side of Houston. It was the northernmost parish in Houston until the 1960s. It was established earlier in the 20th century by immigrants from Sicily. It was called the Sacred Heart of Little York. And eventually the name changed right after World War II into Assumption. Why? Because they had brought the faith in the Assumption of Mary. And every August 15, in the sweltering heat of Houston, they would hold a procession for all the Italians. Well, after World War II, becoming Assumption, other people came, immigrants from Polish, Czech, and German ancestry. And then in the late 80s and the 90s, when I was there, many Hispanic immigrants, all immigrants coming from all over, drawn to Houston for many reasons that you know, because we all have been immigrants or descendants of immigrants. We all came to Houston, so they would go to the church to worship and adore the only one true God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, accompanied by Mary. Whether venerated as the Immaculate Conception, Our Lady of Lourdes, Our Lady of Fatima, or Our Lady of Guadalupe, it's the same one Mary, the mother of Jesus, who was taken up to heaven. It's that event called the Assumption. Assumption means being taken up. And that's where she is, her Son is, and where her Son is, we too are called to be. What a beautiful feast, what a beautiful way to understand life that does not end without death, but continue through the resurrection into our participation in the life of God in heaven, together with Jesus, the Son of God, and with Mary, His mother, our mother, the mother of the Church.